And then I have a very tall son named Barron. Has anyone ever heard of him? Thank you. He knew the youth vote. You know, we won the youth vote by 36 points. And he was saying, Dad, you got to go out and do this one and that one. And we did a lot of them. And he respects them all. He understood them very well. And he said, Dad, you got to go out, do Joe Rogan, do all these guys. And we did. We did. And Joe Rogan was great. They were all great, right? Darren, they were all good.
Look, dude, there's an ugliness that's out there right now where, you know, there's certain podcasts out there that if you're a racist, if you're an anti-Semite, if you're a psycho-nationalist and you want a softball interview, there's podcasts out there where you can, and they will laugh at your fucking bad jokes and just give you this pass. And it's like, you know, there's a really ugly thing that's going on out there. And, you know, it's the kind of things we've already seen this, and we've seen what it does to a nation, and it's not the way to go.
Looks like there's some more shots fired at the Rogan sphere. Bill Burr taking part in it now, essentially calling out Joe Rogan and his friends of podcast bros, taking digs at them, making fun of them, at the same time expressing how much he is sick of their shit. That transparent statement by Bill Burr saying, quote, there's an ugliness out there right now where if you're a racist, if you're an anti-Semite, if you're a psycho-nationalist and you want a softball interview, there's podcasts out there where you can get one. They will laugh at your fucking bad jokes and give you this pass. There's a really ugly thing going on out there, and we've already seen what it does to a nation, and it's not the way to go. Clearly, Bill Burr is going at the Rogan sphere, talking about podcasts like the Joe Rogan Experience, Flagrant with Andrew Schulz, Theo Vaughn, the list goes on. Man, softball interviews while laughing at their bad jokes. Damn, that really sums it up, right? That's the entire essence of the Joe Rogan Experience. I'm going to take a wild guess here. Something tells me we won't be seeing Bill Burr on the JRE show anytime soon. I really think Joe loves Burr too much to let criticism of his show ruin their friendship. As much as I disagree with Rogan on politics, he does seem like a pretty decent friend and not one to let politics fuck things up. And I think if anyone can get away with rightfully calling out Rogan for his soft-ass cushy political interviews is Bill Burr. Actually, I'd love to see him on the show, hopefully soon. If you agree, let me know in the comments. And guys, Burr has always been like this. Hell, go listen to old Opie and Anthony shows. Joe Rogan lived for that hang, so if he has somehow gotten soft since that time, then that's on him. Bill Burr has consistently been one of the only people who even try to hold Joe Rogan accountable and call his ass out on his idiocy in the past. But I don't think Joe Rogan having Bill Burr on his podcast will ever happen for these two reasons. Number one, Rogan genuinely doesn't want or need to be confronted at this point. He's found his groove in the bowling lane and is just digging deeper, making more money and shutting himself out from anyone who tells him he's wrong. Number two, Bill Burr doesn't need or want to bring himself into the bullshit anymore. Burr will tell you himself that he doesn't give a shit about money anymore and has found his own groove in the lane that makes plenty of money, being a self-actualized dad. Now, the difference in evolution between the two over the last, let's say, decade or so has been startling to watch, and I wouldn't have predicted it went the way it did. Rogan now being the angry idiot who has fallen for every grift he used to complain about, and Bill Burr finally being comfortable and happy with not just the life he's genuinely built, but for himself as a human. The Thursday afternoon just before Friday podcasts are a great way to hear the evolution in real time. It's actually amazing how often Bill Burr is talking about the same shit from a healthier perspective from himself 8 years prior. Don't get me wrong, personally, I prefer angry conspiracy Bill Burr from years ago. However, obviously, everyone evolves and changes with time and maturity. Man, his podcast got a bit boring after he started becoming less angry and ranty. And if you break it down, Burr hasn't been on the JRE show since he told Joe he wasn't going to listen to him talk medicine without a medical degree. You could tell Joe Rogan didn't like that at all. Billy Boy was also on very thin ice after ensuring that Joe Rogan could never wear his favorite Little Rascals hat ever again. Rogan didn't like that either. You know, the fact that so many huge podcasts ignore scientific consensus in favor of harmful alternatives is also not being discussed enough. It's a real problem. The Rogan Sphere podcasters are just way too lazy to know when someone is lying to them and using them. The podcast bros only run off vibes, and I'm not labeling them as incredibly naive. And trust me, they are not stupid. They're just greedy. It's like this recent Theo interview where he's basically saying how disappointed he is in the administration on certain policies. People are eating the shit up. Theo made bank on these interviews and Trump endorsement. These guys sensed the wave coming and rode it. And now they're acting like they're all surprised that they got wet. And again, people are eating the shit up. I think Andrew Schulz and Joe Rogan unironically take themselves very seriously. More than anything, they are sycophants, constantly vying for a place at Joe Rogan's teat. So this particular cultural niche being spearheaded by Joe is a big part of it. Rogan's spectrum of guests took a hard right turn around when COVID started, and his coattail riders turned right along with him. Not lazy, stupid. Actually, incredibly fucking stupid. They're selling themselves. Look at how loud fatso Tim Dillon was talking about Jeffrey Epstein, his dinner with JD Vance, and boom, towing the line. Rogan didn't get hundreds of millions from Spotify with no strings attached. Again, these guys are selling themselves. And just to repeat, it's not laziness or stupidity, actually. They literally just don't care. They sold out their moral and ideological consistency years ago for a seat on that gravy tray, baby. There are plenty of podcasters with big audiences and no skill or desire to challenge what a lot of their guests say. So those guests get to rant at a big audience on some pretty wild shit now. What is now normalized was once shocking. And the biggest problem with Joe Rogan in general has been that he's really not remotely qualified as an interviewer to deal with people who just want a soapbox where the guy in front of them is not capable of challenging them. Then they have a bunch of clips where a glorified influencer is nodding along with their nonsense. The pod comedians just want clout. They'll hitch to any wagon to get it, and that, strangely enough, makes them everything they claim to hate about Hollywood. Bill Burr gets more based by the day. Here he is going off on billionaires and conservatives.
You know, you're talking about billionaires, you're talking about stuff like this, and people on the left have been really embracing you, and they're sharing your videos.
No, that's not true, dude.
Certain parts of the left.
That's not true. That's not true.
Certain portions of the left.
That's not true. And certain portions of the right.
Sure.
There's common sense on both sides.
Sure.
But we keep doing this shit. Where it's like, oh, the right's all fucking racist, and dude, the left is some of the most fucking. Most of the left feels like if they have a black friend, they don't have issues. Okay, I'm out of that.
Yes,
I'm out of that, so I don't want to hear left and right crap. They're all fucking nuts. That fucking shit post Me Too, where it went from people shouldn't sexually assault people, absolutely, to I don't like what you're talking about in your act, was fucking nuts. It was McCarthyism on the left. And now you've gone to the other side on the right. And the left was so fucked up, the right, the psycho right thinks that they're in the middle, and they're not. They're out of their fucking minds. And I travel, dude, and I'm telling you, people who lean right and lean left are chill. And we're just sitting in the middle like, when is everybody going to fucking calm the fuck down?
One thing you can respect about Bill Burr is that he's always spoken his mind, and he's doing that pretty much right here.
And I have people from construction workers to fucking, hairy-legged chicks with nose rings going, hey, I like what you're saying out there about these billionaires. Because that is the fucking problem.
Yes.
And the other problem is that people make it like it's political. Like if you vote for this color tie, these billionaires are somehow going to grow a heart. And it's just not the case.
When you think of talking about politics at all in your act, what do you want to do, right?
If I do it, I trash them both.
Yeah. With what?
Because that is my job. That is my job. I can't fix the political system, and I don't watch a lot of it. When I do stand up, if I start trashing like Trump, I would hear the left in the crowd like, yeah. And I'd be like, the fuck, you voted for a guy that, is staring off into space. Mm-hmm. Like your guy literally should be in a fucking home. What are you patting yourself on the back for? X, Y, and Z, blah, blah. Your fucking party has not let you has not let you choose your candidate since Obama's second term.
Yeah.
You're liberal? That's fucking insane. We want Bernie Sanders. Fuck you, Hillary. We want Bernie Sanders. Fuck you, fucking Mr. Magoo. I'm not flying either one of their flags. It's the people that pay them. Mm-hmm. That is the problem. And they're always distracting us with other stuff. So like CNN and Fox News are a fucking disease. So my new perspective is there's nothing wrong with being a billionaire. But if somebody is working 40 hours a week, 160 hours a month, and they can't make their rent, you're not paying them enough money. Maybe you should just be worth $900 million.
Yeah.
Like, how does a CEO take a fucking 8-figure bonus and none of your employees have dental insurance?
What do you feel, and podcasters, what do you feel about politicians and billionaires who've appeared on podcasts of your peers to try to leverage comedy for their own goals?
Oh, dude, it was before that. I remember the first time I saw a president go on the Tonight Show. I thought it was cheapening The Office. It's like they never did that. Like when they used to run for office, they would have the debates, and they wouldn't even go on Meet the Press. So, but I just feel like now that everybody has a camera and blah, 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 it's just so all over the place. I just think the landscape of it has changed. All I can say is personally, I would never do it. I would never have somebody come on that's running for fucking president with my intellect. I'm not going to sit there and be like, what's your foreign policy? Like I would be like within 3 minutes, dude, what was your favorite Super Bowl? And then people would be like watching it going, I like that Super Bowl too. I'm going to vote for this guy. It's just like, it's just so far beyond my wheelhouse. Like I am just that's just way beyond. Like there's a difference between the people that read and the people that are the subject of what you're reading. You know what I mean? Then there's this ego thing that because now I can explain it like I'm somehow Einstein adjacent. It's like, no, you're not. You just read some smart shit.
Yeah.
That was a bit I used to do in my act where it's just like, there's nothing worse than when a dumb person reads because now they think they're smart. It's just like, no, you're just a dumb guy that knows a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Like intellect to me is how you process information. Mm-hmm. It's not just reading a bunch of smart shit, putting in your head and then puking it out at people and be like, in 1492, that's not smart. You're torturing people. Somebody said to me one time, I go, Bill, you're a really smart guy. And I go, yeah, in a sports bar. You put me in a sports bar and you want me to talk about 70s and 80s sports. I am scoring very high. Yeah. All right. You put me in like that form to have to interview somebody that is going to run for president, and then as the sports bar guy, you're going to see like, yeah, this guy did go to summer school a lot. So
I'm sure some are saying, fucking A, Bill, dead on. While others say Bill Burr is my Oprah. Because Oprah platformed garbage people like Dr. Oz, who are now messing up medical care in America. Bill Burr would never. Also, Bill doesn't close off the road to his Hawaiian mansion during tsunami evacuations. To ask the question of why did Bill Burr have to weigh in on politics? Honestly, he always has been into politics. Now just some disagree with him. And the problem isn't isn't famous people being political or comedians. The problem is famous or funny people endorsing things they don't believe in or support. They're hypocrites. Everything is connected. And the truth is, to succeed nowadays in politics or as a commentator, a la Ben Shapiro, you need to be extreme.
Ben Shapiro talked about going to one of your shows and complaining about you becoming woke, which sort of then created this.
He doesn't even know what that word means.
Let me sum
his definition of woke is white liberals' definition of woke, and they didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
They just took the word from black people. That's the worst thing about our people is not only do we take from other cultures, we don't even take the time to understand the definition.
Yeah.
He went there to be annoyed so he can then have something to talk about, and then he can make money off of dividing his own country.
Yeah.
Those people, it's treasonous what they do.
Yes, but to be fair, or not to be fair, the fact is that it worked for what his goal is, which is then it became a thing online where then a certain portion of the right complain about how you're woke.
Racists.
And we're racist.
They're racist. Yeah, they send pictures of monkeys to me and my wife. They're fucking horrible people, and they're cowards, and they never say it to your face.
Typically, I don't shell out hundreds of bucks and then take my wife and my friends to a show in order to be annoyed. I'm sorry, you did a show and a bunch of people didn't laugh in Florida, and then you fussed like a child, and then you walked off the stage. It was really ridiculous, and that's on you, my dude. Bald Rumpelstiltskin over here, who gets mad when you call him by his real name, is still pissed off. I didn't enjoy his comedy show last year, and he thinks that I and my friends and my wife, we all paid to attend his show just so that I could criticize him. You used to be funny. And then you transed yourself and turned into a white, bald, allegedly male version of Sonny Hassan on The View, screeching at me about income inequality and racism. There is some irony to the fact that as you lost your nuts, you morphed into a shriveled nutsack of a human. Bill Burr is whiter than a painting of a polar bear in snow on a white canvas. So he's actually the most annoying form of a woke person. A white lib, the kind he likes to criticize. The white person who apologizes for being white by pretending that he can speak on behalf of black people about the systemic privileges of being white.
Politics of division is where we are, folks. And Bill Burr is preaching that for a long time. And trust me, the funny shit is mostly at the extremes of every spectrum. And I'm sure we're here for it all. But fuck politics. Let's get back to the Rogan sphere. Apart from Shane Gillis, honestly, I just don't find the so-called Rogan sphere podcast bros funny. I suppose it's not for me and most. And I like smart comedy from curious and informed people, not the conspiracy bullshit. Oh, and Joe Rogan's last special was terrible. In my last video I uploaded yesterday about the Rogan sphere possibly imploding, well, add Ari Shaffir to that list, because it looks like he hates Austin, Texas too. Oh, and before you listen to that, I just wanted to point out that the fact that Andrew Schulz hasn't read the Constitution because he thought it was thousands of pages long was hilarious to me. But here's Ari Shaffir.
What is the most overrated city everyone loves to visit? I'm sitting in one of them right now, Austin, Texas. It is trash. It is classless. It's classless trash, everybody. It's not cool. Everyone's like, why don't you move to Austin? The comedy scene's huge here. I'm like, sure. The city itself is not cool. I'm not saying it has a lack of cool. I'm saying it's actively uncool. I live in New York City, one of the coolest towns in the world. There's also plenty of others. Mexico City, Berlin, Liverpool, all cooler than Austin, Texas. But in the world overrated, Bangkok, Thailand. It seems cool, and by day 2, you're like, there are a lot of 9-year-old boys selling Viagra at 3 a.m. I don't think I'm comfortable with the darkness of this town. So Bangkok, overrated. Get straight to Chiang Mai. Enjoy your life.
Man, you gotta love that Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen moved there 4 years late, and at the point the rest of the 250 assassins are openly mocking the city now. I think that's Brian Callen's best move, is to be 5 years behind everyone, sneaking around when everyone's already looking for a way out because of the whole falsely confused situation that ruined his life in Venice Beach, scurrying around like a little abused rat, feeding on the scraps of the secret 250 that are left on planet Earth. Brian Callen, a repulsive little prowler, but just imagine how fast everyone would move if Joe Rogan moved. Because right now, all of Joe Rogan's first picks are realizing how stupid it was in the first place to go to Austin. So Rogan's got to reach out to his backup comedian friends to come down. Hey, Brendan, Papa, come. Brinks, you too. I just wonder how real natives from Austin, Texas feel about all these low budget midget assassins shitting on their city. Just a bunch of grown-ass men uprooting their entire lives and families to follow a feeble-minded old midget man to a shithole will never not be funny to me. Oh, and by the way, Ari Shaffir looks like he's doubled in age since I saw him last in Joey Diaz a few years back. And if I'm ever pushing 50 and look and act anything like Ari Shaffir, bullet in my head, somebody. We seriously need to think about bringing back public shaming or something. I don't know. Like, you look like that, Ari, and you think you know what cool is? Looking like a railroad magnate on Ozempic. And who would have thunk a bunch of spoiled rich dudes from Los Angeles and New York wouldn't fit in Austin, Texas? But I heard it both ways, B. Anyhow, let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. I really do appreciate it. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Share this video out to others who might enjoy this type of content. And a lot of you are still not subscribed. Maybe you don't know you're not subscribed, but please consider subscribing. Hit that subscribe button. And again, hit that like button and share this video out. Other than that, I will see all of you in the next video.
Like, but the Balenciaga one, Jesus Christ.